As always, WWE had a very eventful week. Following last weekend's massive Money in the Bank and Heatwave events, the wrestling promotion has announced several new signings, notable returns, and debuts. Rhea Ripley made her triumphant comeback to Raw on Monday. The Rascals made their NXT debut on Tuesday, and MSK continued their return on Wednesday. Not only that, but the sports entertainment behemoth just inked a deal with international superstar Stephanie Vasquez. World Wrestling Entertainment has flourished for 7 decades thanks to its big stars and brilliant performances. Just as entertaining as perusing the present-day wares is learning about the A-listers who contributed to the company's success. Every week, Sportskeeda reminisces on some of the most memorable games and events from its glorious past. 4 separate tournaments involving multiple high-profile matches and players will be covered in detail in this article. This week's list kicks out with a major wrestling event with one of the more peculiar titles. On July 9, 2017, WWE's Great Balls of Fire event took place live from Dallas, Texas's American Airlines Center. With 8 bouts featured on the main event, Great Balls of Fire drew in approximately 16,000 spectators. The night's main event featured a brief but spectacular encounter between Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe. Despite working hard during the match, Brock was able to retain his WWE Universal Championship in less than 7 minutes. Even though Brock and Samoa Joe had a solid match, the strange name of the premium live event is what viewers will remember most about the evening. Maybe NXT Great Balls of Fire will air as a USA Network special one day, given the recent trend of returning cast members for specials and events. This week's schedule continues with WWE Vengeance. The event took place on July 11, 2004, at the Hartford Civic Center in Hartford, Connecticut. Around 7,000 spectators watched the Raw-branded pay-per-view. In addition to 7 main show matches, the event featured a plethora of brilliant performers, many of whom were stars or would become so in the future. Among those who fall under this category are Kane, Ric Flair, Victoria, Chris Jericho, and Matt Hardy. The night's most anticipated match was the main event, in which Triple H faced off against Chris Benoit for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. A swift pin on Triple H was achieved by Chris after 29 minutes, but it was partially due to interference by Eugene. As a result, the game faced off against an unusual opponent in Eugene in the now-forgotten SummerSlam match. On July 14, 2013, WWE hosted the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. There were around 15,000 people in attendance during this performance at Philadelphia, Pennsylvania's Wells Fargo Center. Among the show's expected Money in the Bank ladder matches was one with an intriguing victor. Before facing Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, Cody Rhodes, Fandango, Jack Swagger, and Wade Barrett in the first bout, Damien Sandow prevailed. In the main event, Randy Orton was the winner of the other briefcase. Even more surprising now as we look back is the fact that Damien Sandow spent the majority of his time at the organization as a comedic figure, so his victory in the Money in the Bank briefcase came as a complete shock. Even if he lost the cash attempt in the end, Sandow's victory ensures his place in history. Extreme Rules is the last item on this list. Despite returning to the Wells Fargo Center for the premium live event, WWE managed to draw a crowd of less than 13,000 spectators. This occurred at a time when the sports entertainment behemoth's business was declining at a steady rate. Even though Extreme Rules featured multiple high-profile matches, the main event stood out. Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch and WWE Universal Champion Seth Rollins formed a partnership. After facing off against Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans in an Extreme Rules winner-takes-all match, the real-life duo triumphantly defended their crown.